Hey guys, today we're going to be talking about channel. In this video I want to talk about three things. First thing is, what is channel? Second thing is the general rule for stringing a channel on a pocket. And the third thing is stringing a channel on different types of head. Hey guys, so for this video you're going to need to know two types of knots, an interlock and one. Now if you already know how to string these two, just skip this part. If you don't, this is how you do it. Okay, an interlock, you start from the outside of the head, you go through the sidewall, and then you leave a loop, and you go under the mesh, and then you want to go through that loop that you left. And you just want to pull back and forth, make sure it's tight and secure, and that's an interlock. For a single, also known as a one, you want to go under the mesh hole. Make sure you go under, not over. You want to go under the mesh, pull it. Then you want to go through the side of the head, leave a little opening like this, and you want to go through that opening from the inside of the head, and then just pull, and pull tight. Make sure it goes back and forth, and this bags up the mesh a little. For those of you that don't know, channel is this part right here. It's basically the path that the ball takes to be released. Not enough channel is bad because it's inconsistent, and then the ball could go left or right. Too much channel is also bad because there'll be too much drag, and what that means, it's going to be really hard for the ball to get out. But a good channel will give you consistency, and that's what we're after. The general rule for stringing a channel on a pocket is to string down the first 4 diamonds, tight to the wall of the head, and to string them downward. So that way you get this part being really tight, but you have to know when to stop. Usually you want to stop right where the head starts to flare. If you notice, right where the flare is, that's where I stopped and tied down my 4th hole. So you want to plan your stringing, the first 4 mesh holes. You want to plan it so that the 4th hole is tied at the flare, and then the other 3 holes are dragged down just enough so that the 4th hole could be tied there and still being tight and pulled down. It's pretty simple. So after you interlocked and pulled down the first 4 mesh holes, you just want to start bagging so you can get depth. And you do that by doing 1s or 2s. Usually after the 4th interlock, if the head is narrow, I like to do a 2. If the head is wide, I just like to string 1s all the way down. Now that brings us to our third topic. There are different heads. There are narrow heads, and then there are wide heads, and then there are narrow heads with a little bit of holes, and then there are wide heads with a little bit of holes. As a stringer, you're going to want your head to have a lot of holes, like this torque right here. There's a lot of stringing holes. It gives you a lot of options. You can basically string whatever kind of pocket you want. The biggest headaches are wide heads with not enough holes. Now, this you definitely have to make sacrifices, and unless you drill any more holes into it, you really can't get the pocket that you want. Again, the general rule applies. It doesn't really have a flare, but it's down here, so that's where my 4th hole is tied at. And then the big thing with wide heads to keep in mind is you don't want to string a double up or a triple up on a wide head, not in the middle, because with this one, I drag down the 4th hole to the flare, and then if I would have done a double up, you know, the front of the mesh would have just been flat and there would have been no channel. So I had to do a single all the way down. Now, sometimes, you know, now I got lucky and I was able to have a mid pocket with an okay channel, not the best channel, it's an okay channel. The problem comes when you tie the fourth hole down to the flare and then you tie ones all the way down and then your pocket is not deep enough because you only have so many holes to bag out the pocket. Then you have to make a sacrifice. Either you want a good channel or you want a mid or high pocket. If you want a good channel, you're going to have to string down below the flare and then you're going to have to double up and then singles for the rest. And then that will give you pocket depth and a good channel, but the pocket would be very low. It would look somewhat like this. Or you could just go for a high pocket without a channel or a mid pocket with no channel. I have had heads like that. It's usually old school heads. A lot of the new heads have a lot of holes, and you guys just follow the general rule. But if you do come across one of those wide heads that doesn't have that many holes, and say you're stringing it for a friend, you know, you're gonna have to tell them, hey, you're either gonna get a really low pocket with a nice channel or a mid pocket with no channel. So, you know, it kind of sucks. Thank you guys for watching. Comment down below what kind of videos you guys want to see. Let me know if you have any more questions. And till later.